Cover. Evil is Me is drawn with large, thick letters by David Schmuckler in pen and colored in bright red on top of a white rectangular background surrounding the letters. Evil is on top, with Is Me upside down below on the bottom. The background is a bright neon green. Page 1. Inside cover. The page is a full bleed image of a close-up of one of Marybeth Chew's paintings. Page 2. The page is a full bleed image of a close-up of one of Marybeth Chew's paintings. Page 3. The page is white with black text. The text reads, Copyright 2020, The Place Press, First Edition. All rights reserved. All artwork appears courtesy of the artists. Artwork photography by Virginia Fleming and Samantha Mitchell. Printed and bound by Fireball Printing, Philadelphia, PA. This Must Be the Place is an artist-run, independent curatorial project that provides an egalitarian platform for visionary artwork while fostering kinship between diverse artists. With a focus on working with artists with developmental disabilities in the Philadelphia area, our goal is to create an inclusive support system and accessible space for artists to show and work together. The Place Press publishes artist books and collaborative projects by, for, and with our artists. www.thismustbetheplace.org. Page 4. The page is white with the title of the book, Evil is Me, in red, and in the same font as the cover with David Schmuckler and Marybeth Chew in black font underneath. On the bottom of the page is the This Must Be the Place Press logo that is a half circle in orange that blends into light blue and purple center with orange sun rays around the half circle. The place is in white, and This Must Be and Press is in light blue. Page 5. The page is a saturated neon green with no text. Page 6. The page is a saturated neon green with no text. Page 7. The page is a saturated neon green with text in black font. The text reads, in quotations, I do the paintings for Halloween. The best is monster blood because monsters are killing people. I do monsters. I make paintings for Halloween. I am the director of the movie about Halloween. I do it myself. I have a lot of work to do. Page 8. The page is a saturated neon green with text in black font. The text reads, David Schmuckler. David Schmuckler, born 1989, works out of the studio at the Center for Creative Works outside of Philadelphia. In 2017, he published his first book entitled Halloween Scary Monsters, which debuted at the Philadelphia Art Book Fair. His work in painting, drawing, and sculpture has been exhibited throughout Philadelphia, including at the Philadelphia Foundation, Philly Eyeworks, Black Cat Tavern, and the Green Line Cafe. His work has also been shown at the Outsider Art Fair and Weird Days, which is now Summertime Gallery in New York City. David Schmuckler lives in Newtown Square, PA, with his family. Page 9. The page is black with an image of a drawing centered on it. Below the drawing is its title and information in white type. In quotations, Amazon.com, Hyalin, Dora, scary Halloween masks, animal, skeleton with bloody brain, and cat eyes horror Halloween costume. 12 by 9 inches, acrylic paint marker and ballpoint on paper, 2019. The drawing is of a figure on a white piece of paper. The figure has an oval silver face with 2 red horns and an exposed red brain on top of the head. Its mouth is open, bearing silver teeth, and the inside of its mouth is yellow. It has a black oval nose, yellow eyes with purple and black outlines and black pupils. The figure is wearing a short-sleeved gold shirt, plain black pants, and brown shoes. Its skin is orange and it has claws. Its left hand is holding a silver sword with a gold handle. The title of the piece is written in ballpoint pen underneath the figure in a combination of uppercase and lowercase letters, with the letter I written as a circle with a line beneath it. Page 10. The page is black with an image of a drawing centered on it. Below the drawing is its title and information in white type. In quotations, Bloody Clown Mask, 12 by 9 inches, marker and ballpoint on paper, 2017. The drawing is of a figure on a white piece of paper. The figure has orange skin and a fish-like face, with low yellow eyes, no nose, a gaping black mouth with thin red top teeth, and red and orange striped fins for ears. The figure is wearing a long-sleeved black shirt with the words, "Who watch out, scary clown," emblazoned on it in red, blue pants, and brown shoes. It has claw-like fingers, with the left arm bent upwards with the hand facing up, the right hand pointing towards the side. The title of the piece is written in ballpoint pen underneath the figure in a combination of uppercase and lowercase letters. Page 11. The page is black with an image of a drawing centered on it. Below the drawing is its title and information in white type. Cafele La Llorona Mask, horror scary zombie grimace, ghost mask with hair for Halloween party. 12 by 9 inches, acrylic paint marker and marker on paper, 2020. The drawing is a figure on a white piece of paper. The figure is dressed in black long sleeves and pants with black boots and has long silver claw-like fingernails. Its hair is gold and black striped, hovering dome-like above its head with long pointing elements coming off of either side and reaching down towards its knees. It has orange skin with yellow cat-like eyes and a wide open black mouth, white teeth, and curling red lips. The title of the piece is written in ballpoint pen underneath the figure in a combination of uppercase and lowercase letters. Page 12. The page is black with an image of a drawing centered on it. Below the drawing is its title and information in white type. In quotations, Clown Horror Latex Halloween Scary Head Face Mask 3D Effect Zombie Face for Adult Halloween Giffle. 12 inches by 9 inches. Acrylic paint, marker, and marker on paper, 2018. The drawing is on white paper of a bust of a red-skinned figure with long black horns, gaping black eyes, vertical black eyebrows, gaping black nose hole, and white long teeth. 2 black spikes emerge downward from either side of the face's chin. The title of the piece is written in ballpoint pen underneath the figure in a combination of uppercase and lowercase letters, with the letter I written as a circle with a line beneath it. Page 13. The page is black with an image of a drawing centered on it. Below the drawing is its title and information in white type. Halloween Haunted House Dress Up Live Room to Esca / Morbid Enterprises Snake Tongue Evil Clown Mask. 12 by 9 inches. Ballpoint pen and marker on paper, 2018. The drawing is of a pair of figures on white paper. Both have orange skin on their hands, long black claws, white skin on their faces, red curling lips, and pointed white teeth. They are both wearing white long-sleeve shirts, shoes, and pants with red writing on them. The left shirt says, "Who scary, watch out, clown." The right says, "Who watch out, clown." The figure on the left has pointed black hair tufts emerging from the top and both sides of its head. The figure on the right has no hair. The title of the piece is written in ballpoint pen underneath the figure in a combination of uppercase and lowercase letters, with the letter I written as a circle with a line beneath it. Page 14. The page is black with an image of a drawing centered on it. Below the drawing is its title and information in white type. In quotations, Ruby's Child Mutant 3/4 vinyl mask, 12 by 9 inches. Ballpoint pen and marker on paper, 2019. The drawing is of a figure on white paper. Its skin is green and its head is elongated with a large orange and green eye-like orb in the center of its forehead. Its eyes are black with orange pupils. It has a gaping red mouth with pointed black teeth and a black hole where its nose would be. It wears a black muscle t-shirt, blue pants, and black shoes. Its hands are pointing downward with thin black curling claws on each finger. The title of the piece is written in ballpoint pen underneath the figure in a combination of uppercase and lowercase letters. Page 15. The page is black with an image of a drawing centered on it. Below the drawing is its title and information in white type. In quotations, Rob Zombie, The Devil's Rejects, Victim Halloween, 12 by 9 inches, marker and ballpoint pen on paper, 2017. The drawing is of a figure on white paper, standing slightly off-center to the left. The figure has orange skin and white fringy hair and wears blue pants, brown shoes, and a black short-sleeved shirt with red letters that say, "Stay back, keep out, who's scary?" The figure's face has blank, black, round eyes and a slightly smiling white mouth with no lips or teeth. The title of the piece is written in ballpoint pen underneath the figure in a combination of uppercase and lowercase letters, with the letter I written as a circle with a line beneath it. Page 16. The page is black with an image of a drawing centered on it. Below the drawing is its title and information in white type. In quotations, Smithy's Men's Prowler Wolf Mask, 12 by 9 inches, marker and ballpoint pen, on paper, 2017. The drawing is of a figure on a white piece of paper. The figure has gold metallic skin, cat-like pointed ears, a straight tail, and feet pointing out with elongated shoes. Its hands are black with silver claws pointing upward. A thick black outline runs around the entire body. The figure has red eyes with white circles around them, and its mouth is open, exposing yellow teeth with ballpoint pen outlining them. It has a pointed silver beard-like accent protruding from its chin that wraps up around the sides of its head and above the top of the thin outline. The figure is wearing a blue vest with red rectangular shapes creating a pattern on it. The title of the piece is written in ballpoint pen underneath the figure in a combination of uppercase and lowercase letters. Page 17. The page is black with an image of a drawing centered on it. Below the drawing is its title and information in white type. In quotations, Old Clown Mask, 12 by 9 inches, marker and ballpoint pen on paper, 2019. The drawing is of a figure on a white piece of paper. Its face has a traditional clown-like appearance with white skin, large blue ovals around its eyes with red outlines, and orange lips surrounding a red mouth. It is wearing a black short-sleeved t-shirt, blue pants with a brown belt, black boots, and gray gloves with pointed fingers. It holds a stick or knife in its left hand. It has orange skin on its exposed arms. The title of the piece is written in ballpoint pen underneath the figure in a combination of uppercase and lowercase letters.
Page 18. The page is black with an image of a drawing centered on it. Below the drawing is its title and information in white type. It reads, Halloween Scary Ghost Mask, Zombie Tomb, Horror Keeper, Party Mask, Latex, Full Face, Nausea, Evil Spirits, Ghost Cosplay Dress, 2018. 12 by 9 inches, marker and ballpoint pen on paper, 2018. The drawing is of a figure on a white piece of paper. Its face has orange skin. Its mouth is open and has sharp white teeth bared, with a red triangular shape extending upward from the top of the mouth. The left eye is a black hole, and its right eye is white with a light blue round pupil. It has long, white, claw-like fingernails, and it is wearing a brown long-sleeved shirt with blue pants and black shoes. The title of the piece is written in ballpoint pen underneath the figure, in a combination of uppercase and lowercase letters, with the letter I written as a circle with a line beneath it. Page 19. The page is black with an image of a drawing centered on it. Below the drawing is its title and information in white type. It reads, Fancy Dress Costumes Accessories for Adults Children, 12 by 9 inches, marker and ballpoint pen on paper, 2019. The drawing is of a bust on white paper. It has orange skin and brown hair with sideburns. Its mouth is open and black, with sharp teeth on top and bottom that are the same color as its skin. It has the words, Kiss Me, written on its forehead in red all caps letters. Its eyes are black with round holes with strands of red stretched vertically across them. The title of the piece is written in ballpoint pen underneath the figure in a combination of uppercase and lowercase letters, with the letter I written as a circle with a line beneath it. Page 20. The page is black with an image of a drawing centered on it. Below the drawing is its title and information in white type. It reads, Go to Sleep Mask, 12 by 9 inches, marker and ballpoint pen on paper, 2018. The drawing is a figure on white paper. It is a tall, thin figure wearing a black muscle t-shirt, blue pants, and black boots. It has short black hair with a 3-strand fringe sticking upward on the right side of its head. It has pinkish-orange skin visible on its arms and neck, and white skin on its face. It has black circled eyes with large red pupils, a black nose-shaped hole in the middle of its face, and black pointed teeth with red lips. Its mouth is open in a grin, and the inside of its mouth is also white. It has claws on its hand pointing downwards. The title of this piece is written in a ballpoint pen underneath the figure in a combination of uppercase and lowercase letters. Page 21. The page is black with an image of a drawing centered on it. Below the drawing is its title and information in white type. Halloween Adult Mask, Zombie Mask, Latex, Bloody Scary, Extremely Disgusting, Full Face Mask, Costume Party, Cosplay Prop. 12 by 9 inches, marker and ballpoint pen on paper, 2019. The drawing is of a standing figure on white paper. It has red skin, a black hooded muscle t-shirt with the hood up, blue pants ripped at the knees, gold shoes, and is holding a silver blade in each hand, pointed up. Its head is oversized and rectangular shaped, with a mouth open in a grimace to expose sharp red teeth and a white space inside. It has wide, white eyes with blue pupils, and its nose is drawn in thin line with a ballpoint pen. It has a black headband that is composed of black fringe pointing upwards and downwards. The title of the piece is written in ballpoint pen underneath the figure in a combination of uppercase and lowercase letters, with the letter I written as a circle with a line beneath it. Page 22. The page is black with an image of a drawing centered on it. Below the drawing is its title and information in white type. It reads, Pixnor Halloween Horror Zombie Mask Cosplay, 12 by 9 inches, marker and ballpoint pen on paper, 2019. The drawing is of a standing figure on white paper. It has a jack-o'-lantern pumpkin head, a black cape with fringe at the bottom, a long-sleeved white shirt, blue pants, and black boots. Its hands are small and peach-colored. Its face has thin purple lips, black pointed fangs, and a reddish open mouth. It has a triangular hole for a nose and black gaping eye holes that are irregularly shaped. The title of the piece is written in ballpoint pen underneath the figure in a combination of uppercase and lowercase letters. Page 23. The page is black with an image of a drawing centered on it. Below the drawing is its title and information in white type. It reads, Máscara de payaso diabólico para adulto, 12 by 9 inches, ballpoint and acrylic paint marker on paper, 2019. The drawing is of a standing figure on white paper, which is slightly off-center toward the left side of the page and leaning towards the right. It has red pants with ripped knees that expose blue holes, gold skin on the torso, a blue vest that is open, black shoes, and silver gloves with black claw tips on the fingers. Its face has white skin with gold ears, and the right side of its face seems to be ripped open in a red gash that starts above the eye and extends around to the chin. Its mouth is open with yellow teeth bared. Its left eye is red with a black pupil and has two black lines emanating upward, and its right eye is white with a black pupil. Its nose is drawn as a downward-facing loop with a thin black pen line. The title of the piece is written in ballpoint pen underneath the figure in a combination of uppercase and lowercase letters, with the letter I written as a circle with a line. Page 24. The page is black with an image of a drawing centered on it. Below the drawing is its title and information in white type. It reads, Excellent size toy Halloween scary mask zombie mask with black, 12 by 9 inches, marker and ballpoint on paper, 2019. The drawing is of a standing figure on white paper. It is dressed in a brown long-sleeved shirt, brown gloves, brown pants, black shoes, and a dark brown hooded balaclava. The figure's face is gray with thin red lips, a red outlined nose, and red outer eyelids. Its eyes are gaping black holes. Its mouth is black with a thick red tongue, and its orange teeth are bared. The title of the piece is written in ballpoint pen underneath the figure in a combination of uppercase and lowercase letters. Page 25. The page is black with an image of a drawing centered on it. Below the drawing is its title and information in white type. It reads, Morbid Enterprises, Snake Tongue Evil Clown Mask, 12 by 9 inches, ballpoint and marker on paper, 2018. The drawing is of a standing figure that ends just above the feet. It is wearing black wide-leg pants and a black short-sleeved turtleneck with boxy shoulders. It is holding a silver knife with a red outline in its left hand and has pointed black claws on its hands that are pointing up. Its skin is orange on its arms and white on its face, which has red lips in a wide, open-mouthed smile with red teeth, a pink tongue, and another long red tongue hanging down the neck. Its eyes are black holes outlined in a red starburst design, and its nose is a red dot. It has 3 tufts of hair extending in a fringe from the top and both sides of the head. The title of the piece is written in ballpoint pen underneath the figure in a combination of uppercase and lowercase letters, with the letter I written as a circle with a line beneath it. Page 26. The page is black with an image of a drawing centered on it. Below the drawing is its title and information in white type. It reads, Hooded Faceless Mask Hands Halloween Costume, 12 by 9 inches, marker and ballpoint on paper, 2018. The drawing is of a standing figure on white paper. Its body is covered in a black garment from head to toe with a hood, and its hands and face are metallic gold. On the top of the face, there are 6 black dots in 2 vertical lines. The title of the piece is written in ballpoint pen underneath the figure in a combination of uppercase and lowercase letters. Page 27. The page is black with an image of a drawing centered on it. Below the drawing is its title and information in white type. It reads, Werewolf Child Halloween Costume, 12 by 9 inches, ballpoint and acrylic paint marker on paper, 2018. The drawing is of a standing figure on white paper. Its skin is brown with silver claws, a tri-pointed tail, pointy ears, and 2 horns on its head. It has red eyes with black pupils and a black outlined nose. Its mouth is open and black inside, with bared pointy yellow teeth and thin red lips. The figure wears a ripped t-shirt that says Full Moon diagonally across the front and blue pants. Its feet are bare. The title of the piece is written in ballpoint pen underneath the figure in a combination of uppercase and lowercase letters, with the I written as a circle with a line beneath it. Page 28. The page is black with an image of a drawing centered on it. Below the drawing is its title and information in white type. It reads, Nemesis Deluxe Latex Mask Resident Evil Zombie Halloween Mask, one size / as pictured, 12 by 9 inches, marker and ballpoint on paper, 2018. The drawing is of a bust on white paper. Its skin is peach-colored and it has black gaping holes for eyes, with a red gash extending from where its nose would be to surround its entire mouth, which is only 2 rows of pointy black teeth. Its shoulders have several red gash-like marks on them. The title of the piece is written in ballpoint pen underneath the figure in a combination of uppercase and lowercase letters, with the I written as a circle with a line beneath it. Page 29. The page is black with an image of a drawing centered on it. Below the drawing is its title and information in white type. It reads, Styrofoam Wig Head, 12 by 9 inches, ballpoint and acrylic paint marker on paper, 2018. The drawing is of a figure on white paper. It has brown skin, blue pants with rips at the knees, black shoes, a light blue vest that is open in the front, a metallic gold face, silver claws, and pointy gold ears. Its brown hair forms a dramatic widow's peak between 2 black eyes with red pupils that are vertical lines. Its mouth is open with white teeth bared and thin red lips. The title of the piece is written in ballpoint pen above the figure in a combination of uppercase and lowercase letters, with the letter I written as a circle with a line beneath it. Page 30. The page is black with an image of a drawing centered on it. Below the drawing is its title and information in white type. It reads, Halloween Fancy Dress Costume Rotting Skeleton with Popping Eyes Face Mask, 12 by 9 inches, marker and ballpoint on paper, 2019. The drawing is of a figure with orange skin on white paper, wearing blue pants ripped at the knees and a black short-sleeved t-shirt. It holds an object in its left hand that is a black zigzag vertical shape, and its right hand has claws pointed downward. Its face has a red shape between its eyes that looks a bit like a 4-pronged flame, and its nose is a black triangle shape pointing downwards. Its eyes are orange with black pupils outlined in yellow, and its mouth is black and open with white pointed teeth and thin red lips. The title of the piece is written in ballpoint pen underneath the figure in a combination of uppercase and lowercase letters. Page 31. The page is black with an image of a drawing centered on it. Below the drawing is its title and information in white type. It reads, Amazon.com, Malagogo, the Flash Mask C, 12 by 9 inches, marker and ballpoint on paper, 2017. The drawing is of a figure on white paper. The skin on its neck and arms is orange, with black skin on its face and ears. It wears a black muscle tee with blue pants and black shoes, and it has long silver claws. Its face is entirely black with pointy ears and long, sharp yellow teeth pointing down and blank white oval eyes. The title of the piece is written in ballpoint pen underneath the figure in a combination of uppercase and lowercase letters. Page 32. The page is black with an image of a drawing centered on it. Below the drawing is its title and information in white type. It reads, a Halloween-mask.com exclusive, ellipsis. This clown ice cream clown, 12 by 9 inches, acrylic paint marker and ballpoint on paper, 2017. The drawing is of a figure on white paper. It wears a long sleeve shirt, blue pants, and black platform boots. It holds a silver sword in its left hand that has red flames emanating from both sides. The skin on its hands and neck is orange, and its face is white with pink and green lips, yellow pointed teeth, and red eyes. A metallic gold cone shape comes out of the right side of the top of its head, with a pinkish shape spreading across the face underneath it. The title of the piece is written in ballpoint pen above the figure in a combination of uppercase and lowercase letters, with the letter I written as a circle with a line beneath it. Page 33. The page has a light yellowish green background and an essay written in black text. There are two reference images that go along with the essay. One of them is a still from a murder mystery television show of a woman screaming that Marybeth Chew used for a painting. The other image is a photo of David Schmuckler in full costume that he crafted, standing outside. His costume resembles one of his drawings. He is wearing ripped jeans with splotches of blood red and a black t-shirt with a jean vest. He has on a mask that mimics one of his clown drawings, and he is holding up two handmade costume machetes with one in each hand. The title, written in capital letters, reads, Painted Monsters, the work of David Schmuckler and Marybeth Chew, by Samantha Mitchell and Virginia Fleming. In quotes, my kind of horror is not horror anymore. No one's afraid of a painted monster. End quote. Boris Karloff, Targets. Horror and morbidity have long exercised an uncanny hold on the human mind. From the fever behind the Salem witch trials to the cult-like following of Edgar Allan Poe, there have not only been audiences, but true enthusiasts for the experience of feeling terrified. Among horror lovers, it is widely accepted that artworks that can muster the most unexpectedly bone-chilling fear are the more satisfying. As productions of cinematic horror became more sophisticated over the 20th century, horror gradually evolved through a focus on the supernatural to the more psychological horror genre that transformed cinema in the 70s, taking us away from the camp of Bride of Frankenstein, 1935, and towards the realist gore of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, 1974. Artists David Schmuckler and Marybeth Chew both investigate the horror genre in their work in a way that celebrates the traditional painted monster, even as it appears in more contemporary, psychologically terrorizing iterations. In their work, gruesomeness is presumed as stylized, formalized, compositional elements. Rife with the macabre elements of blood, dismemberment, and ghoulish creatures, Schmuckler and Chew maintain an awareness of the fantastical, even as it appears in more realistic representations of gore. Chew works with still images pulled from film, pausing the screen at just the right moment and capturing a single frame. Providing a voyeuristic perspective on her subjects, it is a process that echoes the 1960 film Peeping Tom, which involves a man who uses a camera as a murder weapon, with a blade attached to the end of his tripod. The film opens through the perspective of his camera lens, watching his victim. Like Chew's process, we as the viewer are presented with a screen within a screen. The protagonist is a voyeur obsessed with capturing the moment of terror on his victim's face. Diving into a range of classic and contemporary movies like Blood Diner, 1987, Black Narcissus, 1947, and Body Melt, 1993, Chew can stop time in the moment when someone is experiencing extreme terror or pain, or passing from living to dead, exerting godlike power over the B-movie actors being murdered on screen. An undercurrent of excess is always present in her portraits, the melodramatic expression of emotion just as active as the presence of gore or fear. In Chew's work, you can see the adoration and respect for her subject matter, and because of this, it is difficult to forget that we are looking at an actress embodying a role or a feat of costume makeup magic. Using an old tube television set to display her reference imagery as she works, Chew's pieces express a nostalgic bent for cathode ray imagery, and the presence of a linear patch of static or a hazy tracking halo feel poignant, as if the moments in these films are from a collective memory that we all share. Page 34. The page has a light yellowish green background and an essay written in black text. Continuing from the previous page, it reads, "Most of Schmuckler's work is inspired by Google image searches for Halloween masks, and his current full-figure practice evolved from drawing masks exclusively. Drawn in ballpoint pen with marker and/or acrylic paint marker, his pieces evoke powerful, expressive moments that are delightfully grotesque. While his interpretations of the faces of his figures are based on visual reference imagery, their bodies are largely invented from his imagination. He has indicated that his figurative works are portraits of himself in various costumes, which is consistent with his passion for acting and dancing through characters. The drawings embody not just his own playful interpretation of source imagery, but erect an identity for himself within that edifice, always occupying a villainous space. He portrays characters from both contemporary and classic horror reimagined as Halloween masks, including Nemesis, a pursuer in Resident Evil, a survival horror game and movie franchise, Dracula, Pennywise the Clown, Stephen King's It, and various werewolves. Schmuckler's process of stylization emphasizes the basic compositional elements of the masks, like the negative space created by an empty eye socket, or the rhythmic pattern of serrated teeth. In his hand, the strip mall Halloween store aesthetic becomes a compelling, sophisticated visual exploration of the poetry of gore. Beyond their fascination with horror, both artists seem deeply amused by the subject as well. There is an appreciation for the absurd in both their work. From Chew's tenderly rendered disembodied head with green tentacles from The Brain, 1988, to Schmuckler's representation of a grungy long-haired killer from Rob Zombie's The Devil's Rejects, 2005, wearing a t-shirt emblazoned with "Stay back" / "Keep out" / "Who's scary." This carries through the artist's more gruesome representations as well. The truth of what they convey, someone peeling their face back to reveal their true identity as a lizard, a person with a face so mangled it appears as hunks of flesh and holes, is too horrifying to actually take in. This representational divide makes us more aware of the distancing, dissociative mechanisms that are active within us at all times in navigating contemporary visual culture. The shift in cinematic horror over the decades is embodied in Peter Bogdanovich's Targets, 1968, in which Boris Karloff plays an aging monster movie star in a world where current events begin to occupy a more horrific place in our psyches than fantasy, articulating the fundamental shift from scary creature horror films to the mental anguish and fear of The Silence of the Lambs, 1991. While Bogdanovich may have felt the shift from monsters to serial killers signified a move away from pure fantasy, both Schmuckler and Chew are clearly still able to delight in the fantastical elements of the genre even as it becomes more realistically grotesque. Both have a deeply felt understanding of horror as an outlet, a subliminal alternative space within the screen. Whether probing its abstraction, like Chew through her monitor, or inviting it into their physical reality, like Schmuckler in Costume, they use horror fantasy as a vessel to capture something essential about their worldview and ask the viewer to contemplate their own reality through this darkly humorous lens. This is where the book changes orientation and is upside down, so the reader can turn the book over and start again from the back. For the purposes of this recording, the reader can now turn the book upside down and start turning pages in the opposite direction from left to right. Page 36. The page has a light yellowish green background and a Q&A interview in black text. There are 5 reference images that go along with the interview. The first image is a photo with the text, "Collage by David Schmuckler," featuring David as Evil Zombie Monster Mash, 2020. The collage is made with acrylic paint, lined paper, a photo of himself wearing his crafted costume, and the words "Power Up Now" written out in blue marker. His costume is made up of ripped jeans with blood red, a gray shirt with a jean vest, and a white mask with red streaks going down the face. The next image is a collection of stills from the movie The Being, with text underneath that reads, "Marybeth reference images from The Being." The next 2 images are stacked on top of one another with the text in between reading, "Marybeth reference photos from Blood Diner," top, and "The Brain," below. The still from Blood Diner is a brain with bulging eyes floating in a glass jar. The still from The Brain is a man's decapitated head with green wires sticking out of his neck on the floor. The last image of this page is a photo of David Schmuckler in a costume that he has crafted, with text underneath that reads, "David Schmuckler as Lightning, 2019. His costume is made up of a black shirt with black pants and a black and purple cape. He has a piano key belt with a silver buckle and a blue mask that covers his nose and mouth and top of his head. He is standing inside in front of a beige wall. The first heading in all capital letters reads, Favorite Halloween Costumes. Mary Beth. My best ones are minimalist last-minute costumes. My favorite ever was a cyborg. I just had wires. I had a friend who was a makeup artist who attached the wires to me, so it was a subtle thing. But I think a cyborg is subtle. My favorite minimalist costume was when I had a clone identification card. David. Michael Jackson Thriller. The Page Master. Jason. The next heading in all capital letters reads, Favorite material to work with. Mary Beth. I mostly paint in oils, but I also really love pastels. David. Red, like blood. The next heading in all capital letters reads, Scariest villain. Mary Beth. Zombies. I have really intense zombie dreams. Weirdly, the ones that disturb me the most are those humorous spin-offs like Return of the Living Dead, where it's very gory, but they're making kind of slapstick jokes the whole time, and that just horrifies me and gives me horrible nightmares, and makes me feel ill. Where at least in the Night of the Living Dead movies there was some redeeming storyline and interest and complexity, but those just really upset me. David. Zombies, werewolves. David makes a pose with one leg back and back arching with fists clenched. That is what a werewolf does. They attack the people. Werewolves do bite. The next heading, in all capital letters, reads, In both of your work there are scary elements, but also things that are funny. Is that important to you? The page has a light yellowish green background and a Q&A interview in black text. Continued from the previous page. David. We are scary you. We are laughing. Both, yes, you are. Be scared. Laugh. Yes, you are laugh. No cry. I will be brave. Mary Beth. I guess I'm not really scared by horror mostly, and I think it's funny to be scared of horror. Every year in Rehoboth, there's that haunted house ride, and I go on it and I get a picture taken. There's like a bang and a flash, and something jumps out at you. And I've gone on it with multiple people in multiple years, and I always have this like silly grin on my face. Mary Beth laughs. I have this like happy face. I like being scary in my paintings, but also because I think it's funny. Well, I guess it depends. It's a catharsis. So I'm really scared of a lot of real things, and then I find that to be a cathartic way of dealing with it. The next heading in all capital letters reads Top Scary Movies. David, Hellfest, 2018. Us, 2019. Casper the Friendly Ghost, 1995. It, 1990. Nightmare Before Christmas, 1993. Happy Death Day to You, 2019. Mary Beth, Suspiria, 1977. Peeping Tom, 1960. The Birds, 1963. Alice, Sweet Alice, 1976. Dressed to Kill, 1980. Blood Theater, 1984. The next heading in all capital letters reads Recent Sources of Imagery. David. Google image searches for zombie sounds. Halloween Freddy Krueger costume. Vampire mask teeth. Halloween zombie mask. Infected mask for adults. Jason Voorhees. Vampire donuts. Moonlighting bolt smoke. Fog smoke. God movies. Oogie Boogie Man song. Devour dinner for Halloween. Spooky smoke. Crawl movie. Beetlejuice clothes. Zombie voice samples. Adult giggles mask. Hanging latex zombie head. Couples ladies men's zombie cheaters. Pope mask church. Zombie football players. Adults the purge entity fancy dress. Creepy horror scary cannibal. Adult evil grin mask. What happens when lightning strikes? Mary Beth. Stills from horror movies watched on an old tube TV. Page 37. The page is black with an image of a painting in oil centered on it. Below the painting is its title and information in white type. It reads, Polyester, oil on canvas, 20 by 24 inches, 2015. The image is a close-up portrait of a woman in quarter profile from the movie Polyester, looking to her left with her teeth bared and a worried look on her face. She has poofy blondish/red hair that frames her face and a blue shirt on with a splotch of yellow on her right shoulder. She is in front of a house with white slats in the background. The brushstrokes are thick and bold. Page 38. The page is black with an image of a painting in oil centered on it. Below the painting is the title and information in white type. It reads, The Brain, oil on canvas, 24 by 24 inches, 2019. The image is a portrait of a man's or robot's severed head facing the viewer. There are grayish wiggly wires coming out of the bottom of his neck and green goo. The mouth is agape and he has a blank stare. He has gray hair with a tuft of white sideburns. The background is off-white. Page 39. The page is black with an image of a painting in oil centered on it. Below the painting is its title and information in white type. It reads, Blood Feast, oil on canvas, 10 by 10 inches, 2019. The image is a super close-up portrait of a man in quarter profile. There are colors of yellow, red, pink, green, and blue in his skin tone. His face has double features as if the image was taken in motion. There are double sets of his eyes and mouth underneath. He is glaring just to the right of the page with his mouths partly separated and a sneer with his white teeth showing, and he has red lips. The background is bluish green. The paint has more of a quick wash quality. Page 40. The page is black with an image of a drawing in marker centered on it. Below the drawing is its title and information in white type. It reads, From Beyond, marker on paper, 17 by 11 inches, 2017. The drawing is broken up into 24 squares, with 4 squares going across and 6 squares going down. It looks sort of like film stills with a white background. Each square has an image drawn in marker from a scene from the movie From Beyond. The marker has a brush quality to it. In the first row and the first square, there is an abstracted image of a figure clutching onto something or cowering, and they are surrounded by blue colors and black. They are wearing what looks like a blue plaid shirt and a hat. The next square looks like an abstraction of a scene of figures from afar on the left with pink, white, black, and blue. Most of the background is black. The next square looks like an abstract image of two mountains with what looks like lightning or an explosion with pink, brown, yellow, white, and black. The last square in this row is an image of a fence with the same lighting or explosion behind it with red, pink, yellow, white, and black. In the second row, the first square is a continuation of the same scene with the fence, but with more yellows and oranges and reds in the background, and it looks like it could be a large fire. The next square is an image of a building that could be a church, with white and blue lines for the detail of the windows and the structure of the church, and there is a black background. The next square is an abstract image with black and red lines with white. In the last square of this row is an image of the number 0.01 in red with black, and it looks like an alarm clock. In the third row, the first square is the same scene with the numbers 0.13 in red with black, but more close up. The next square is an abstracted image of what looks like a fleshy mass with pinks and red and black. The next square is of a black alarm clock with the numbers 0.19 in red on it and a blue and red background. The last square in this row is a close-up of a face smiling with a pink flesh tone. The next square is another close-up of a face looking worried with pinks, reds, and blue skin tone. In the fourth row, the first square is a close-up of a face looking pensive. The face is made up of red splotches and dark blues and purples for the detail of the face. The next square is an abstraction of what could be the outside of a building with pink, green, red, and black. The next square is another abstracted image with shapes and the colors red, blue, yellow, brown, and black. The last square in this row is an image that looks like an abstracted and out of focus shape with what could be a figure with peach, blue, and black. The first square in the fifth row is an image of an abstracted shape that looks like it could be a computer screen or keyboard with bright neon green lines and white with a black border. The next square is a close-up of hands with pink flesh tone and red lines for the details of the fingers, and it looks like the figure is wearing a red shirt. The next square is an abstracted image that looks like it could be an explosion with fire, and the colors yellow, orange, pink, and black splotches. The last square in this row is a very dark image of a face emerging from darkness with a surprised look on their face, with dark blues and green and black. In the sixth and last row, the first square is an image of a figure on a white telephone with a cord. The figure is talking and has on a white shirt and has pink and blue and red skin tones. It looks like the figure could be wearing a bluish hat or hair. The next square is an abstract image with black and orange lines, with a small subtle blue shape in the right bottom corner and a white background. The next square is of a figure with a bald head and a mustache with a white turtleneck and a brown jacket, with a blue line going across in the background with black. The last square is an image of the same man smiling. Page 41. The page is black with an image of a painting in oil centered on it. Below the painting is its title and information in white type. It reads, Invasion UFO, oil on canvas, 10 by 10 inches, 2017. The image is a super close-up portrait of a man in front view. He has bright blue eyes and white hair. His skin tone has bright yellows, oranges, peaches, whites, and greens. His mouth is slightly agape and he has pinkish red lips. He has a pensive look on his face and is looking just to the right of the page. The background is aquamarine blue. The paintbrush quality is thick with wide, flat strokes of color. Page 42. The page is black with an image of a drawing in marker centered on it. Below the drawing is its title and information in white type. It reads, V the Miniseries. Marker on paper, 11 by 8 inches, 2017. The drawing is broken up into 28 squares with 4 squares going across and 7 squares going down, with red surrounding each square and a white border. There is a small drawing of a scene from the TV show V in each square. The marker has a brush quality to it. In the first row, the first square has an image drawn in marker of a close-up of a crowd of figures with the colors pink, blue, red, and neon green. They look like they are wearing futuristic clothing. The next square is a zoom in from the last scene with a black bar appearing underneath the figures. The figure in the front has their mouth agape. The colors are pink, red, blue, and neon green. The next square is slightly abstracted. It looks sort of like a green bush or an explosion with greens, yellows, and black specks. The same black bar is across the bottom. The last square in this row is an image of 2 small figures in movement. They are colored completely red and look like they are in a whitish room with blues and pinks. There is a red bar across the bottom of this one. In the second row, the first square is an image of a police car with red and blue lights on the top and what could be a figure bathed in yellow and orange or a fire in front of the car. There is a wash of a purple streak in the background. There is a black bar going across the bottom. The next square is an image of a figure in front of an old car that looks like it could be from the 70s. The car is brown and white, and the figure has reds, blacks, and whites in it. The background is black. The bottom has a red bar with a black line going across the top. The next image is an abstracted image of what looks like a street or subway. There are lots of diagonal black lines going into the background with figures far away. There also looks like some kind of vehicle in the background. There are little dots of red and orange near the figures. There is a red bar on the bottom with a black line running through it. The last square in this row is a bright scene with 2 figures. The one on the left looks like it could also be something else, and the other figure is a little further in the background on the right. The closest figure is a light yellow rectangle shape with a light yellow square on their head, and the further figure is wearing a blue jacket and greenish blue pants with peach skin tone. They are in a room with blues and red and greenish blue shapes on the wall. The figure on the right is in front of what looks like shutters of a garage drawn in blue horizontal lines going across. There is a red bar going across the bottom. In the third row, the first square is an image of abstracted shapes that could be figures. There are red splotches and gray shapes with black, yellow, greenish blue, light blue, and white colors. There is a black bar going across the bottom. The next square is another abstracted scene that could be 2 figures. There are horizontal black lines going across what could be a t-shirt and a red splotch on top of the t-shirt shape. Next to that shape on the right are light blue, dark blue, pink, and greenish blue shapes with white. The background is black, and there is a black bar across the bottom. The next square is a close-up portrait of a figure with black shaggy hair and pink and bluish skin tone, and is wearing a red striped shirt with yellow and white in between. The background is black, and there is a black bar across the bottom. The last square in this row is a dark scene with black horizontal lines going across the background and gray color. There is a figure standing in the right corner. There are little details of orange lines in the figure's suit behind them. There is a black bar across the bottom. The first square in the fourth row is another dark scene that looks like the same background as the previous square with horizontal black lines. It looks as if the figure is coming into the scene on the right or is the same figure from the previous square. There is a pink line and a greenish-yellow light in the top of the image. There are red, light blue, and black shapes behind the figure. The next square is an abstracted image that looks like two figures on the right with a car door or computer terminal on the left. The background is black, and the figures are wearing brown, bluish-white with black stripes and blue pants. The shape on the left is white with gray horizontal stripes and a black square on the top with a white line defining the square. The next square is a close-up portrait of a figure. They have white skin tone and are outlined in pink marker. There are pink lines running down their face that look like they could be tears. They are wearing a red shirt with a V-neck, and their hands look like they are holding something. The hands are also outlined in pink marker. Their hair is yellow with gray washy specks. The background is light yellow, and there is a small black line on the top of the square. The last square in this row is another close-up portrait of a figure with their left hand in front of their face and right hand on their cheek. It looks to be the same figure from the scene before. They are outlined in pink and have red on their face, and their eyes are defined by blue splotches. There are red stripes with white on their shoulder. The background is green and blue. There is a black bar across the bottom. In the fifth row, the first square is mostly black with splotches of orange-red, black, and white in the middle. There is a black bar across the bottom. The next square is an abstracted image of a face with pink and black details. The background is white and there is a black bar across the bottom. The next square is another abstracted image that could be a figure of a face. There are grayish-blue stripes in the background with gray, white, and orange shapes. There is a black bar across the bottom. The last square in this row is an image of a figure with black hair and yellowish, light blue, and gray details in their face. They look like they are wearing a light aquamarine warp. The background is black with a small yellow speck and dark red splotches. There is a black bar across the bottom. In the sixth row, the first square is an image of two close-up figures' faces. The one on the left is in the middle of the square and has mostly black and dark red splotches like they are in shadow, and the one on the right is cut off on the left and looks to be wearing black sunglasses and has pink skin tone with red lips. They both look to be wearing red, and the background is a red bar in the middle with a splotch of yellow and a black bar across the top and bottom. The next square is an image of two figures that look to be wearing red suits like in the TV show V, and both are wearing black sunglasses or a mask of some sort. They are in front of an orange, yellow, light blue, and black background. There is a black bar across the bottom. The next square is an abstracted image that looks like it could be a figure in front of screens. There are black lines and shapes with pink. There is a large black bar across the bottom. The last square in this row is black with one reddish-pink horizontal line going across the top and two vertical lines on the left and two vertical lines on the right in the same color. There is also a black bar across the bottom. In the seventh and last row, the first square is an abstracted image that looks like a face. There are reds and pinks with black and dark reds making eyes, nose, and lip details. There is a blue splotch in the top right corner and a large black bar across the bottom. The next square is an image of a hand emerging from the darkness. There is a black background with pinkish blue and red hand emerging on the left. The next square is the same hand, this time with more reds in it moving across the black background. The last square is the same hand colored red with a black outline in front of a washed out and black background with red horizontal rectangles on the far right corner that look like they could be bricks. There is a black border across the bottom. Page 43. The page is black with an image of a drawing in marker centered on it. Below the drawing is its title and information in white type. It reads, Body Melt. Marker on paper. 17 by 11 inches. 2017. The drawing is broken up into 28 squares with 4 squares going across and 7 squares going down, and they look sort of like film stills with a white background. Each square has an image drawn in marker from a scene from the movie Body Melt. The marker has a brush quality to it. In the first row, the first square has an image of what looks like a parking lot in front of a building. It is abstracted with splotchy marks. There are black vertical lines that look like they could be columns or posts. The ground is brown and there is what looks like a small car with white and gray and black wheels with orange, blue, red, and light brown shapes around. The next square is a close-up of a bottom half of a face and hand. They look like they are lying down and have bluish, gray, white skin tone, and there are blue lines making the details of the face. Their mouth is agape and they have red lips. There is a blue shape on the right side of the face. The next square is the same close-up of the bottom half of a face, with the same colors, and in their hand looks like a cigarette. Their mouth is still agape and their lips are red. The last square in this row is an abstracted image of greenish-blue horizontal lines going across with a light green horizontal line on the top and a curved purplish-blue horizontal line on the bottom with black on the left, bottom, and right of the square. The first square of the second row is an abstracted image with black on the top, left, bottom, and right surrounding a rectangular shape with subtle greenish-blue color. The top of the shape has white with the black splotches across the top. The next square is another abstracted image with black on the top, left, bottom, and right of the square, with an oval-like shape in the middle with pink, orange, and a yellow stripe. There is a greenish triangle in the top right. The next square is a close-up of a torso with breasts and brown hair around the shoulders and neck. The skin tone is a very light, subtle blue, and the details are drawn in blue. There are black bars on the top and bottom of the square. The last square in this row is a close-up of a face lying down looking at a hand. The same subtle light blue is used as the skin tone with a light purple making the details of the face. The hand has bright red fingernails. The background has what looks like a window with blinds, with black on the left and right, and blue horizontal lines going across. There are light purple splotches on the far right surrounding the face. The first square in the third row is an image of a hand with pinks and greens and a black outline detail. The hand is moving across the frame, and there appears to be part of a figure underneath with light blues and bluish green. The background is made up of blue, white, and dark blue vertical blocks. There is a black border on the top and black line on the bottom. The next square is an abstracted image of what looks like a window with silhouettes or telephone lines. There is black across the top, right, and bottom, with two thin blue lines going diagonally across a white background. The next square is an image of the same face and hand from the scenes before. It looks like a sex scene. The figure is lying down and the hand is on the chest. The face has dark blues, green, and black lines for detail and is in shadow. The hand has bright red fingernails. The background is black with a shape that looks like the same window from before with bluish green color. The last square in this row is the same scene from the previous square, and the face looks like they are smiling now. The first square in the fourth row is a close-up of a face with their hand holding someone else's hand up to their face. The face and their own hand is drawn with pink and dark blue lines for details. The other hand is grayish peach. The face looks like it is struggling or smiling. The background is light blue and there is a black bar across the bottom. The next square is the same scene of the face and the hand with the other person's hand, but the other hand looks like it is clenching and the face is washed in reds and black and you cannot see their features. There is a black bar across the bottom. The next square is the same scene, but the face and hands are white with a black outline to define the features. The other person's hand on the cheek has their fingers spread and the face has a worried, surprised, or what could be a happy expression. There is a black bar across the bottom. The last square in this row is the same scene, but the other person's hand is bright green with a blue outline and is clenching the cheek. The face is now white with pink, blue, and brown color for detail. The expression on the face could be smiling or struggling. There is a larger black bar across the bottom. The first square in the fifth row is a close-up of a face that looks like it is melting. Their mouth is agape and there are pinks, reds, and yellow splotches that look like the flesh is falling off. The eyes are bugged out with white and red around the white. The skin tone is light brown. The background is orange, yellow, and green striped. There is a black bar on the bottom. The next image is the same scene from the last square of a face continuing to melt. Their eyes look much more bugged out and their mouth more agape. There is red, pink, and black defining the mouth melting, and their eyes are blue with black pupils surrounded by white and red surrounding the white. Their eyebrows are raised. Their skin tone is an off-white. The background is green. The next square is the same as before with the face continuing to melt. The skin tone is now yellow, and there are reds and pinks around the mouth, and reds and browns around the eyes. The background is yellowish green. The last square in this row is the same scene, but the face looks more distorted and more melted. The skin tone is a subtle light blue, and the mouth looks pained with reds and black colors. The bugged out eyes look more askew, with reds and pinks surrounding the white. The background is aquamarine. There is a black bar on the bottom. The first square in the sixth row is a close-up portrait of a baldish man looking displeased. He has a subtle bluish-pink skin tone with black and green details making up his eyes, nose, and mouth. He is wearing a suit and tie with black and white. The background has light blue, greenish blue, and black stripes on the left of the man and bright pink on the right. The next square is a close-up portrait of the same man, but his skin tone is pink with greens and brown defining his features, and his suit and tie are now blue and white. The background has an orange cluster of lines on his right shoulder, light blue and greenish blue on the left, and pinkish green on the right. The next square is an image of an arm and a hand opening a door or pushing on something. The hand is drawn with pink and brown lines, and the figure looks like they are wearing a suit that is light blue. Their hand is on top of a subtle light green background, with the fingers at the edge of a darker brown background. The last square in this row is another close-up of what could be the same baldish man from before, but he is awash in oranges and yellows with an orange background. There are vertical black lines on the left and right of the figure, with brown and reds next to the black bars. In the first square of the seventh and last row, there is an abstracted image with a black bar on the top and bottom middle. In between the lines are washes of red, orange, and yellow, with white in the middle and orange, yellow, and light blue. The next square is similar to the previous one with the two black bars and red, yellow, orange, white, and light blue washes. The next square is an abstracted image of a large horizontal black bar on the top and a black bar in the middle and a thin black line on the bottom. In between the black bars are washes of purple, pink, red, and yellow. The last square is a close-up of a face from the eyes up. The eyes of the face are drawn with a light blue outline, and the face has dark brown, light brown, and peach hair with bangs. They are looking directly at the viewer. The background has black vertical stripes with pink and purple. Page 44. The page is black with an image of a painting in oil centered on it. Below the painting is its title and information in white type. It reads, "They're Lizards from V, the miniseries. Oil on canvas, 24 by 24 inches, 2018. The painting is a profile of a man peeling his human face off to reveal his lizard face underneath. The face is being peeled off with a hand that could be his own or someone else's. The face looks like a thin layer of skin with facial features. The skin tone has browns, reds, bluish grays, peach, pinks, and purples. The lizard face being revealed underneath has greens and yellows. His lizard eye is bright red with a vertical pupil and a touch of glare from a light. He has blondish brown hair. He is wearing the red uniform from the series V. In the background, there is a gray wall with reds and oranges and black areas. Page 45. The page is black with an image of a drawing in marker centered on it. Below the drawing is its title and information in white type. It reads, Death by Temptation, marker on paper, 11 by 14 inches, 2019. The image is a scene from the movie Death by Temptation, with a white border around it. The marker has a brush quality to it. There are two figures, with one figure sitting down in front of a mirror on their left, so his image is reflected, making it look like there are actually three figures in the scene. The figure is sitting down in profile, facing to the right, and has a phone in his hand up to his left ear. The phone is an old phone with a cord and is drawn with light blues for the details of the numbered buttons. He is wearing a peach shirt with black splotches and blue jeans. His skin tone is made up of blues, greens, and black washes. He is talking intently on the phone. The figure is sitting slightly in front of a large TV that is on his right. The TV is a large black square with red, yellow, and green lines for detail. On the TV screen is an image of a large mouth and the bottom of a nose in dark reds, dark peaches, grays, and black. The mouth is half open as if it were talking, and all the top teeth are shown. Above the TV in the background, there is the top half of a figure smiling, facing the left where the man is sitting. The figure is wearing a black suit with orange lines for detail and a light blue tie. There are washes of aquamarine in the background. Page 46. The page is black with an image of a painting in oil centered on it. Below the painting is the title and information in white type. It reads, Blood Diner, oil on canvas, 24 by 18 inches, 2019. The painting is broken up into grid-like panels with different shaped squares and rectangles, each containing a scene from the movie Blood Diner. The paint application has a thick quality in areas, and you can see the brush strokes. In the upper left of the painting is a smaller square panel with an image of a brain with two eyes. The brain is painted with peaches, reds, and browns, and has purple lines for the details. The eyeballs are a peach with white and bright blue irises. There is a horizontal brushstroke of yellow underneath. On the top in the middle, next to the panel with the brain, there is a rectangular panel with an image of two figures facing each other. They are painted in thick color splotches and without any details. The figure on the left is painted with purple arms and a white outfit with peaches and oranges around the face and black hair. The figure on the right is painted with whites and peaches and has bright yellow hair. The background is a graying greenish brown. In the top left is a square panel with an image of a close-up of a mouth and nose, and you can just see the bottom of the right eye. The mouth is agape and the face is leaning upwards with the top teeth showing. The face looks like it is in the middle of yelling or moaning. It is painted with reds, peaches, browns, and white. In the upper left portion of the painting is a smaller rectangular panel with an image of a figure with a frightening, screaming face. It is abstracted, but you can make out the white space where the eyes, nose, and mouth are. It looks sort of like the figure's arm is reaching out. The figure is painted with grayish peaches, grayish blues, and reds. The face has white for the mouth, nose, and eyes, and is surrounded by a dark red. The background has grays, pinks, and dark green. Next to this image is a square panel with an image of a hand with the palm facing up as if to cusp an object. The wrist has a bright neon green bracelet and the skin tone is peach. Near the hand on the top and right of the panel are splotches of reds and browns. It looks like it could be a face. Next to this on the upper right of the painting is a square panel with a figure holding their hands up, with one hand on their face, covering the right side of their face. Her eyes are closed and her mouth is agape, and you can see her white teeth. She looks pained. She has a bright orange bracelet on her left wrist. Her hands and arms are painted in a light ochre, and her face is painted with peaches, pinks, and reds. She has dark brown hair and a white shirt and an aquamarine color around the neckline. Right behind her on the right is another figure on the edge of the image wearing what looks like a black suit and a white shirt. The background has vertical dark peach lines running down the whole background. In the middle of the painting to the right is a larger horizontal rectangle panel with an image of a close-up of a front view of a face. You can see the eyes, nose, and top part of her mouth. The irises of the eyes are light yellow and the outlines and small pupils are a grayish blue. There are thick brown paint strokes for bottom eyelashes. Her nose is painted a light ochre color, and her cheeks and rest of her face are red, pink, and peach color. The shadows in her nostrils and under her nose are purple. Her lips are a bright red. She is staring directly at the viewer with wide eyes. Her face is framed with oranges and browns for hair. Next to this on the left middle of the painting is another horizontal rectangle panel of an image of several figures. It is an abstracted image with quick splotches of color application. It looks like it could be a group of cheerleaders or dancers holding bright red pom-poms, or they are wearing bright red skirts or shorts. Their feet are made up of touches of white paint for sneakers. Their heads are different touches of black, brown, red, peach, and yellow. The overall scene is a reddish peach color. On the bottom left side of the painting is a panel with a close-up of a frontal view of a monstrous face with sharp teeth. It looks like it could be the woman from before. She has her mouth wide open and her eyes are looking to the far right. Her face is painted with dark reds, browns, peaches, and grays with a splash of aquamarine. Her teeth come to a very sharp point and it looks like something could be coming out of her mouth. Instead of a bottom lip, there is a greenish-yellow brushstroke across her mouth. The inside of her mouth is black. Her eyebrows are raised very high on her face, and her face is framed in orange hair. The background has brushstrokes of grayish-white. On the bottom right of the painting is the last panel. It is an abstracted image that looks like it could be figures in motion. There are brushstrokes of the colors orange, peach, yellow, and brown. You can kind of make out a hand in movement, and there is an aquamarine rectangular shape on the left side of the panel and a smudge of white that could be hair or an object. The background is black. Page 47. The page is black with an image of a drawing in pastels centered on it. Below the drawing is its title and information in white type. It reads, "From a Whisper to a Scream. Soft pastel on paper, 11 by 11 inches, 2017. The drawing is a portrait of a woman from the movie From a Whisper to a Scream. She is in a quarter profile looking to the right of the page. She has a slightly pensive or thoughtful look on her face. Her mouth is slightly open and you can just see the two front teeth. The soft pastels have a painterly quality. Her skin tone is made up of peaches, greens, yellows, and pinks, and her cheeks and nose are a bit redder. She has light green eyes and black pupils. There is a touch of pink around her eyes. Her hair is made up of strokes of yellow, brown, and black. The background is gray with a touch of blue. The image has quick strokes of blue border around it. Page 48. The page is black with an image of a drawing in marker centered on it. Below the drawing is its title and information in white type. It reads, "The Being. Marker on paper, 8.5 inches by 12 inches, 2017. The drawing is broken up into 15 squares with 5 squares across and 3 squares down. Each square is surrounded by a black border with neon green. Each square has a different scene drawn in marker from the movie The Being. The marker has a brush quality to it. In the first square of the first row, there is an abstracted image of what could be a landscape or a close-up of something. There are orange and aquamarine stripes going vertically down the very top of the square. In the middle are triangular shapes with maroon, light green, dark green, and maroon repeating. Below that are horizontal stripes going across in pink and purple. The next square is another abstracted image. There is a gray border with a horizontal green bar going across the middle where there is white with red marks. The next square is an image of a face in front view emerging from the darkness. It looks like it could be an old TV screen. There are green bars going horizontally across the face, and there are pinks and graying pink in the skin tone. The background is black. The next square is an image of a figure that also looks like it could be on a TV screen. There are green and black bars going horizontally across the figure. You can just make out their face, and they have red lips and a bit of teeth showing. They are drawn in dark peach and oranges. It looks like they are wearing an aquamarine and black striped shirt. The background is green with aquamarine. The last square in this row is an image of what kind of looks like a creature or monster. You can just make out red sharp teeth, and it is snarling. The head is orange with black and red splotches. There is a touch of blue in the background. The first square in the second row is an image of a close-up front view of a face. You can only see the bottom half of the face with nose and mouth. There are greenish blue bars going horizontally across the face, again like it is on a TV screen. The mouth is open and the top teeth are showing. The face is made up of browns, reds, and white color. There looks like a red smear on the right cheek, like there is blood dripping down the face. The next square is an abstracted image with green bars going horizontally across. There is white with very light peach and red marks. There is a blue wash on the bottom and black. It could be a figure. The next square is an image that is mostly black, and you can just make out a small face in the bottom right corner with an object in front of the left eye. It looks like it could be a camera or telescope. There are red and blue shapes behind the figure, and the face is drawn with oranges and browns. In the next square is an image that looks like it could be looking into a window, with a green and blue curtain on the left. There is a small stuffed animal or toy sitting near the curtain with orange, white, and red around the neck. It could be a rabbit or a fox. There are green shapes on the background with black. The last square in this row is an image that looks like a close-up from the last image. You can see the stuffed animal or toy or figurine in more detail. It has long ears and tiny pink circles on its cheeks. It is orange and white with a red bow tie and black paws. Next to the small animal is a figure. It is either a real person or a picture of a person. The figure is made up of pinks and light peach. There looks like there is another green bar running horizontally across. The background is black with white and red dots. The first square in the third and last row is an image of what looks like a TV screen. It is a washed-out, light bluish square with a black border, and you can just make out a line and small splotches of shapes. The next square is a close-up front view of a face talking or yelling. The face is made up of greens, blues, and black for the details of the eyes, nose, and mouth. You can make out the wrinkles of their forehead, and you can see their top teeth. The next square is very dark, and you can barely see a face emerging from a black background. Face is washed with dark blues and blacks. The next square is an abstracted image with the same green bars running horizontally across the image. It looks like it could be an interior or exterior. There are pink, light blue, purple, and white marks. The last square is a close-up of a face with angry eyes. You can only see the face from the top of the nose up. There is a dark graying object blocking the full view. There are light yellowish-green bars going horizontally across the image. The face is white with black lines making up the details of the eyes and brow. They look very angry. They are looking slightly to the left of the page. Page 49. The page is black with an image of a painting in oil centered on it. Below the painting is its title and information in white type. It reads, Colombo Reenactment, Oil on Canvas, 18 by 24 inches, 2020. The painting is broken up into grid-like panels with different shaped squares and rectangles, each containing a scene from the TV show Colombo. The paint application has a thick quality in areas, and you can see the brush strokes. In the top right corner is a rectangular panel with an image of two figures facing each other. They are seen from the waist up and are in profile. The figure on the left has a shirt with different shades of purples, grays, and dark blue. His skin tone is painted in grayish peaches and reds. They have black short hair, and there is a touch of light greenish blue on the back of the head and shoulders to indicate a light and shadow. The figure on the right is wearing a pink shirt with different shades of pink and red, and their skin tone is painted with peaches and browns. She has bright blonde yellow hair. They look like they are standing in front of blinds or slats that are painted with red and deep purple horizontal lines with yellow, as if from a light source, above their heads. There also looks to be a curtain painted with blue, green, aquamarine lines going vertically behind the figure on the left. There is also a dark shadow in the background from the figure on the left, painted in dark purple. Next to this panel on the right is another rectangle panel with an image of two figures that could be the same people. One of the figures is sitting with legs spread out with white pants on a couch, and the other figure is in the right of the frame in front and is wearing pink with greenish lines to indicate detail. There is a lamp next to the couch, which is the light source, and it is painted bright yellow and white, with a touch of bluish gray. The background has the same blinds from a window or slats from the previous scene, with red and deep purple horizontal lines. The next panel is in the top farthest right of the painting, and is an image of a figure that could be a woman. The figure is facing away from the viewer, and you can only see the back of her head and shoulders. The figure could be nude or wearing that same pink shirt from before. The hair is painted with light and dark yellows. There looks to be curtains in the background painted with dark and light green vertical lines. On the figure's right are abstracted shapes and color with white, peach, brown, yellows, and grays. In the middle and left of the painting is the next panel. It is an image of a figure standing to the right of the frame with their body facing front and their head in profile. They have their right hand up to their hair. There is a quick splotch of grayish-white paint for a bracelet. They are wearing an outfit painting in ochres and browns and peaches. They have brown hair. Behind them is a large plant that looks like an indoor palm tree. It is painted in light greens, dark greens, and yellows, and the background is a light aquamarine on the bottom and darker blue on the top of the frame. Next to this panel is a large rectangle panel of a scene of a living room with two couches, a lamp in between the couches, and a round coffee table in the middle and front of the couch on the right. The couches are painted in pinks, peach, and deep purple splotches for details. The couch on the left could also be a bed shape and has black and blush pillows or covers on top. Behind the furniture and framing the panel are large curtains with red and browns, and further in the background are more large curtains painted in swoops with dark blues and greens and grays. The next panel on the far right is a rectangle panel. It is a close-up image of two people kissing. There is a woman on the left and a man on the right. They could be the people from earlier panels. They are engaged in a passionate kiss, and both of their eyes are closed. The woman is painted with peach, pinks, reds, and blues, and has a light purplish blue eyeshadow just above her closed eye. There is a touch of orange hair showing on her head. The man is painted with ochres, browns, and deep purples. You can see his collar, and it is painted in pinkish white and yellowish white. Just above their faces in the background, there is a yellowish-greenish light that blends into a darker green. The panel in the bottom left corner of the painting is an abstracted image of what looks like figures in movement. There are reddish, greenish, grayish lines running horizontally across the panel that make it look like a TV screen that is malfunctioning. You can make out a figure bending over, and we only see the back of them, and they have a pink outfit on and blonde hair like the figure from before. There are shapes that look like they could be a figure lying down, and there are red bars and splotches of gray. The panel next to this one on the bottom middle of the painting is an image of a figure with their back facing the viewer. There are greenish-brown brushstrokes going horizontally across the image that, again, look like a TV screen. The figure is in front of a lamp on their left that is painted with bright yellows and white. The figure's outfit is painted with red and has long brown hair with darker splotches for details. In the background in front of the figure, you can just make out one of the pink couches from before, but the colors are darker and in shadow. In the last panel on the bottom right of the painting is a close-up profile of a woman screaming with her hands up near her head as if she is about to grasp her head. Her eyes are squinting and her mouth is open, and you can see her top teeth and tongue. Her face is painted with quick brushstrokes in pink, reds, browns, ochres, and black. Her hands have more of a washy texture and are painted in washes of peach, reds, pinks, and a touch of blue. Her right hand is further back near her head, in front of her brown hair, and her fingers detailed with brown. Her left hand is just behind her profiled face and has saturated reds and purples. The background behind her head is blue, and the background in front of her head is a darker deep blue. Page 50. The page is black with an image of a painting in oils centered on it. Below the painting is its title and information in white type. It reads, Murder Mystery, Oil on Canvas, 10 by 10 inches, 2019. The painting is a close-up portrait, front quarter profile of a woman screaming. She has a terrified look on her face. The painting is dark and the left side of her face is mostly in shadow. Her eyes are wide and her brow and forehead wrinkles are clenching. Her mouth is open and wide, and you can see her top and bottom teeth with black inside her mouth. Her eyes are painted with light blue irises and a little touch of white for highlight. She is looking just to the viewer's right. Her face is painted with pinks, peach, ochre, red, blue, brown, and black. There are a lot of details in her face with the stretch around her mouth and around the left eye and her forehead. Her lips are dark red and her teeth are mostly in shadow except for a touch of light bluish white as a highlight on one of her bottom teeth. Her hair is painted with yellows and greens and black. The background is black. Page 51. The page is black with an image of a drawing in pastel centered on it. Below the drawing is its title and information in white type. It reads, Deadwood, soft pastel on paper, 18 by 14 inches, 2017. The drawing is a close-up portrait of a man in front view. The man's face is distorted a little as if his skin is being stretched back or he is in movement. The pastel application is like paint in some areas. His left eye is wide open and is drawn with a brown iris with a white highlight, as his left eyebrow is thick and raised. His right eye is half closed and is drawn with a saturated blue iris, and his right eyebrow is thick and arched. His nose is a bit crooked and leaning to the left. He has a thick brown mustache and his lips are slightly apart. There is the same saturated blue marking in between the mustache and bottom lip. His face is made up of peaches, pinks, yellows, oranges, browns, ochres, black, and white. There are pastel touches of the same saturated blue under and on the corner of his right eye and in his neck. There are folds of flesh in his neck. His hair is dark brown and short. He is either lying or leaning his face right up against a large ovalish object that is colored in a saturated light greenish aquamarine color with a thick black outline. The background on his right is different shades of brown, and there is white just above his head, between his head and the large aquamarine shape. Page 52. The page is black with an image of a painting in oil centered on it. Below the painting is its title and information in white type. It reads, Black Narcissus, Oil on Canvas, 22 by 22 inches, 2020. The painting is a portrait of a woman in frontal view. She has a large, sneering, almost false grin on her face and wild eyes. She is painted mostly in reds and pinks. Her eyes are a little askew and slightly squinting, and they are looking to the viewer's right. Her mouth is large, and both sets of top and bottom teeth are showing. Her top teeth are large and long, and her bottom teeth are short and stocky, and there are many. Her teeth are colored with pinks and grays, and her gums are visible with different shades of reds in between each tooth. Her eyebrows are thin and brownish red. Her eyes have dark brown irises with a touch of pinkish white for a highlight. Her face is framed by thick hair colored with browns, blues, reds, and greens, and is haloed with light blues and light pinks. Her neck is visible, and there are slight folds of flesh as if she is turning her head to the left. The background is a deep blue. Page 53. The page is black with an image of a painting in oil centered on it. Below the painting is its title and information in white type. It reads, Dark Planet, oil on canvas, 24 by 30 inches, 2017. The painting is a portrait of a man in frontal view with his head turning toward the viewer. He has a serious look on his face and a strong jawline. Half of his face is in shadow with a highlight in greenish yellow on the left cheek. The painting has a thick, strong brushstroke of white paint going from thick to thin horizontally across the top half of the painting above his eyes, and a thin brushstroke of green and yellow going horizontally across the middle of the painting and in the middle of his face where the bottom of his nose meets his nostrils. Another thin line of bluish-gray is going across half of the painting from his chin to the left edge of the painting. Above the white line on the top, where his hairline is, the image is painted to look fuzzier like a TV screen. The effect looks as if the whole painting is an image of a TV screen malfunctioning. The man's face is painted with deep blues and blacks for shadows, and yellow, pink, orange, ochre, and grays for the lit side of his face. His left eye is mostly in shadow, with very little detail, and you can barely make out his right eye, which has a subtle detail of expressiveness. The background is brushstrokes of dark blues. Page 54. The page is black with an image of a painting in oil centered on it. Below the painting is its title and information in white type. It reads, Boiling, 24 by 24 inches, 2019. The image is a portrait of a man with a strained look on his face. His face is looking up and in frontal view. His eyes are half squinting in fear and surprise, and his eyebrows are raised high. His left eye is painted with a grayish-blue iris with a white spot for a highlight, and his right eye is painted with a more saturated grayish-blue color with a white spot for a highlight. His eyes are straining and looking up and to the left. His mouth is slightly agape, and his lips are thin and stretched. You can just see his bottom teeth that are made up of small, stocky rectangles in orange-brown, and the space in between his upper lip and bottom teeth is black. His skin tone is painted in oranges, yellows, reds, pinks, and browns. There are folds of skin in his neck. He is wearing a suit with a collar that looks tight around his neck and painted in light blue and darker blue outline, and a black tie with a bright yellow jacket. His hair is dark brown and short with a tuft of hair right on the top middle of his hairline. There are areas of the paint that are very thick, like in his yellow jacket and parts of the wrinkles in his forehead. He could be leaning back on something or lying back. Behind his head are thick brushstrokes of browns, ochre, yellows, and light blues, and above his head in the background are horizontal shapes of yellow, light blue, green, yellowish green, and brown. Page 55. The page is black with an image of a drawing in marker centered on it. Below the drawing is its title and information in white type. It reads, Alligator, marker on paper, 8.5 by 11 inches, 2019. The image is a marker drawing of a scene from the movie Alligator. The marker has a brush quality to it. The image is of a huge alligator with a man in between its teeth. It is in motion as if the alligator jumped out from the right of the screen and grabbed the man. The man is leaning over in the alligator's jaws and has a surprised look on his face. There are few details in his face, but you can make out his surprised face with marks in red, peach, and browns. He is wearing a blue suit with white cuffs, and his pants are made up of quick, thin lines of black marker. The alligator has green and yellow skin with touches of blues, and the details of the alligator's eye and texture of its skin are done with black marker. The alligator's mouth is biting down on the man and is made up of lots of sharp teeth with pink and purple outline and reds inside the alligator's mouth. The alligator's eye is looking up as if enjoying its meal. The background has several bushes and leaves that are similar texture to the alligator's skin, with light and dark greens and black marks for details. There is also a building with quick red lines and black for the shadows of the roof. Page 56. The page is black with an image of a painting in oils centered on it. Below the painting is its title and information in white type. It reads, Night of the Demons, Ladies' Room. Oil on canvas, 20 by 16 inches, 2016. The painting is a portrait of a woman holding a white cloth up to her face in quarter profile view. The paint has a washy texture to it. There are quick washy applications of peach, red, ochres, light yellow, and pinks in her face. She is looking up, and her eyes are made up of a quick application of washed out black with large irises and eyelashes. There is a thick application of light aquamarine eyeshadow just above her eyelashes. Her left eye is squinting and her right eye is fully open. Her lips are open with just her teeth showing, and her lips are full with light pink lipstick. Her hair is black with cropped bangs. You can see 3 fingers of her hand holding a white cloth up to her mouth like she is wiping her mouth or cheek. The background is different shades of black and deep blue. Page 57. The page is black with an image of a painting in oils centered on it. Below the painting is its title and information in white type. It reads, Blood Feast, oil on canvas, 22 by 18 inches, 2019. The painting is broken into grid-like panels with different shaped squares and rectangles, each containing a scene from the movie Blood Feast. The paint has a washy quality. In the first panel on the top left of the painting is a square shape. The image is of a woman in frontal view looking intently just past the viewer. There are also 2 large eyes appearing transparently over the woman as if the scene is fading into another scene of a close-up face. The woman appears to be wearing a hat with pink flowers or a bow, and she is painted in peach and light yellows with dark green lines for details. Her eyes are dark green and her lips are bright red. Her mouth is slightly open with just her teeth showing. You can just see a red collar around her neck. The large eyes that are starting to appear over her are open wide in a surprised look and are brown and green, and there are washes of blue to the left and right of the woman. The next panel is square-shaped, and the image is a continuation of the last panel. This time, the eyes are starting to form into a face and become less transparent and starting to obscure the woman. This time, there are pinks and peach and blues and oranges for the color of the close-up face that is appearing. The next panel on the furthest top right of the painting is a square, and a continuation of the same scene as before. The close-up face is now almost completely obscuring the image of the woman from before, and the face has become more opaque. The face appearing has a surprised look with wide eyes. The next panel in the upper middle, far left of the painting, is a rectangle with an image of a hand clenching and what looks like blood in dark reds dripping from it. The hand is painted with light peaches and pinks and a red outline for detail and has a red bracelet on the wrist. The background is dark and light blues. The panel next to this one is a rectangle with 2 figures facing one another very close in profile. Their faces do not have detail on them and are made up of quick applications of paint. The figure on the left has greenish yellow skin tone with black and a touch of blue hair. The figure on the right has a greenish, light yellowish skin tone with light and dark pinks around their mouth and red lips and black hair. In front of the 2 figures and to the far right of the panel is some sort of object that has a bent red line around a gray oval shape and red lines going vertically down the side of the panel. The background is black. The panel next to this one on the far right of the painting is a square with an image of a leg and foot standing and facing to the left of the painting. There are reds and browns making up the skin tone, and the foot has on a small black shoe that could be a high heel. Right next to the foot is a shape that looks like another foot, but could be something else, and it is painted in pinks and red. There is a shadow in grays and blues going diagonally from the foot to the top right corner of the panel. The background looks like some kind of interior that could be a bathroom. The next panel is on the middle far left of the painting, and it is square. It is an image of a figure in a bathtub with a shower cap or towel around their head, painted in different shades of blue. The figure is painted with reds and browns and pink and is profile, looking to the left of the painting. You can see the top part of their torso with arms sticking out of what looks like bubbles painted in a wash of bluish white. Above the figure looks like a shadow of a hand or the beginning of a scene change like from the panels earlier, with an image fading into another image. The background is made up of tiles of the bathroom with light blues and white for the outlines of the tiles. Next to this panel is a square panel. It is an image of a hand holding something that is red and round in shape, and possibly it is the same hand from before that was dripping blood. The hand is in shadow with dark peaches and purples and a bracelet on the wrist with dark red. Underneath the hand is a shape that looks like it could be bloody flesh with white cloth around it. It is peach with splotches of red on it. The background is blue. The next panel in the middle and farthest right of the painting is a rectangle with an image of 2 legs and feet. The feet have black high heels on, and the foot on the right is lifting up and out of the high heel shoe. The legs and feet are painted with peaches and browns, and the foot that is lifting out of the shoe looks like there is a touch of red spots above the toes. The figure is in some sort of interior, but you can't really make out where they are. The background has a shadow of the legs going across to the left, and the floor is yellowish white. There is a dark shadow with a light blue line painted through it near the feet on the right. The next panel is on the bottom left of the painting. It is an image of the same figure from before in the bathtub, in profile, looking to the left of the painting. But this time the same effect is happening from earlier in the painting, where a scene is fading into another scene. A transparent image is appearing in front of the figure in the bathtub. It is a figure standing with their back to the viewer. You can only see their midriff down to their knees, and they are just wearing underwear painted in a light blue, and their legs are painted with reds and oranges. Their hand is touching the top of their underwear as if to adjust it. The next panel is a horizontal rectangle and is the image of the figure from before who was starting to appear in the scene change. This time the scene has completely changed to that figure facing away from the viewer with underwear on. The skin tone of the legs and hand is painted with oranges, reds, and browns, and the underwear is white, light blue, and streaks of light yellow going diagonally across the top part of the underwear. The hand is still next to the top part of the underwear as if to adjust it. The figure is in an interior, and you can just make out a wall in white and blue. The last panel on the bottom right of the painting is an image of the same figure in the bathtub from before, but this time she is looking directly at the viewer. She has a whitish pink and gray towel or shower cap around her head, and her face and arms are painted with oranges, reds, peaches, and pinks. Her eyes and eyebrows are detailed with black, and she looks like she is wearing makeup. She has subtle red lips. Her body is covered up with white splotches of paint that could be bubbles, and the tub is painted with very light blues. Behind her in the background are the tiles of the bathroom painted with blues and white outlines for the tiles. Page 58. The page is black with an image of a painting in oils centered on it. Below the painting is its title and information in white type. It reads, Untitled, Oil on Canvas, 22 by 22 inches, 2020. The image is a close-up portrait in quarter profile view of a woman looking just past the viewer to the right. The face has a horrified look with wide eyes and stretched out mouth showing lots and lots of teeth. The eyebrows are raised high and the forehead wrinkled. The face is painted in many colors and the whole image is full of motion and color. There is a look to the painting that gives the whole image a shaking effect. The paint application is thick in some areas and thin in others, and there are quick brush strokes throughout. The face is painted with peach, yellow, pink, ochre, blue, browns, reds, and deep purplish black. The eyes are painted with blue irises, and the right eye has a touch of yellow highlight. The left side of the face is more in shadow and has more reds and browns. The mouth is very wide and has 2 rows of lots of sneering, short, stocky teeth, and are painted with whites, blues, pinks, and grays. The top lip is obscured, and the bottom lip is bright red with a splotch of white for highlight. The face is framed in dark brown hair, with yellowish green highlights and a swoop of hair on the forehead. You can just see the top of her right shoulder. In the background behind her head, in the top right corner of the painting, is a triangular shape in bright red with a green diagonal line on one side. Below this shape is a light brownish color that blends into an aquamarine on her right side. The background on her left is painted in blacks and deep blues. Page 59. The page is a saturated neon green with text in black font. It reads, Marybeth Chew. Marybeth Chew was born in Chester, PA in 1979 and grew up in Wilmington, Delaware. She studied painting at the Pennsylvania Academy of the Fine Arts from 2001 to 2005 and received her MFA from the Leroy E. Hofberger School of Painting at MICA in 2016. Her work has been exhibited in the ICA Baltimore, Practice Gallery in Philadelphia, Dubrovnik Contemporary in Croatia, and FX Collaborative in New York. She currently lives in Baltimore, Maryland, with her partner and her cat Benny, and works as an adjunct instructor of drawing and painting. Page 60. The page is a saturated neon green with text in black font. It reads, in quotes, I think it's funny that we can transfer things that are really scary into an escapism about monsters, you know? It's also something that's really fun that I can't really put my finger on. I'm not feeling bad as I watch horror films. It's celebratory. Sometimes it's like, life is so good, let's watch a horror movie. Page 61. The page is a saturated neon green. No text. Page 62. The page is a saturated neon green. No text. Page 63. The page is white with the title of the book Evil is Me in red and in the same font as the cover, with David Schmuckler and Marybeth Chew in black font underneath. On the bottom of the page is the This Must Be the Place press logo that is a half circle in orange that blends into a light blue and purple center with orange sun rays around the half circle. The place is in white, and This Must Be and press is in light blue. Page 64. The page is white, with a black and white QR code and black text that reads, To hear an audio version of this book, scan the QR code below. This Must Be the Place extends its gratitude to Center for Creative Works, Livia Charman, Ryan Betley, Clifford Ward, Stephen Macready, Elliot Schmuckler, Samuel Newhouse, Margaret Mitchell, Brian Jabs, and Fireball Printing for making this project possible. Page 65. The page is a full bleed image of a close-up of one of Marybeth Chew's paintings. Page 66. Inside cover. The page is a full bleed image of a close-up of one of Marybeth Chew's paintings. Back cover. Same as front. Evil is Me is drawn with large, thick letters by David Schmuckler in pen and colored in bright red on top of a white rectangular background surrounding the letters, with Is Me on top, Evil upside down below on the bottom. The background color is a bright neon green.